Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Cowboys fanbase blasts All-Pro voters after Micah Parsons snub. After Dallas Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons was not voted as a first-team All-Pro, the Cowboys fanbase is making themselves heard. Parsons made the first team in his first 2 seasons in the NFL, but has been omitted for 2023. The list was released on January 12, with a total of 4 Cowboys players making the first team. Another 5 players were named to the second team, including Parsons. At the time of writing, the 24-year-old has not commented on the release, but plenty of people in the Cowboys world have. One fan called it an absolute joke that Parsons and QB Dak Prescott were left to the second team. Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott being second team is an absolute joke. Watch the tape. Micah is the best defensive player in the NFL, no other player draws the attention of the O-line like he does. Doc's numbers speak for themselves. Dude sat about 8 quarters worth due to blowouts. At TBH10_ wrote on ex-Cowboys Wire's Ben Grimaldi also chimed in and didn't mince words on the snub. Micah Parsons not being first-team All-Pro is stupidity at its finest, Grimaldi wrote. At No Huddle speculated on how Parsons may feel, saying that this could be plenty of motivation heading into the first playoff game. Let's hope Micah Parsons is taking this first-team All-Pro snub as badly as we all will. Anytime you can leave off a guy who's double-teamed more than anyone else and still put more pressure on a quarterback than anyone else in the league, you gotta do it, I guess. Full list of Cowboys All-Pros. While Parsons being left off the first team stings for Dallas fans, it is still an honor to make the list at all. Further, Parsons makes history. The exclusion of Parsons may be extra surprising because he set a new career best with 14 sacks in 2023. In each regular season, he has improved his output but remained remarkably consistent. Now over the 40-sack mark just 3 years in, as Heavy's Matt Lombardo recently covered, he joins an elite group of pass rushers. There are only 4 other players who have accomplished that feat: Reggie White, Derek Thomas, Aldon Smith and Dwight Freeney. Parsons has quickly become a major name in the NFL and the focal point of the defense. And with 2 years left on his contract, Dallas is in prime position to keep him around for a long time. The Dallas Cowboys may be in the market for another running back, with Tony Pollard hitting free agency in the coming months. Enter Michigan Wolverines star running back Blake Corum as a potential target for Dallas in the 2024 NFL Draft. Few players know how to find the end zone quite like Corum. The playmaker notched 258 carries for 1,245 yards and 27 touchdowns. Corum added 16 receptions for 117 yards and a receiving TD in 2023. These stats come after Corum posted 247 rushes for 1,463 yards and 18 touchdowns in 2022. USA Today's KD Drummond views Corum as a potential target for the Cowboys. The analyst's latest 7-round mock draft has the Cowboys taking Corum in the 3rd round. At running back, Tony Pollard is free to walk as well, as is linebacker Leighton Vander Esch, Drummond wrote in a January 2, 2024 article titled, Cowboys' First 7-Round Mock Draft of 2024. OL, LB, RB Needs Filled. Vander Esch's neck injury has the organization questioning whether he'll play football again. There are key areas that must be addressed. Cowboys rumors. Dallas could save money by replacing Tony Pollard with a rookie running back like Michigan's Blake Corum. To be fair, the Cowboys selecting Corum or another running back in the middle rounds of the 2024 NFL Draft does not necessarily mean the end of Pollard in Big D yet. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons are among the players due for lucrative contract extensions. The Cowboys will need to cut costs somewhere, and many NFL teams are doing so at running back. Corum could serve as a potential complement to Pollard at the beginning of his career. Michigan had no problem making Corum the team's bell cow running back on their way to a title run. Corum had 21 carries for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns against Washington in the national title game. The playmaker also scored the game-winning touchdown against Alabama in the Rose Bowl. NFL Draft 2024. Blake Corum is projected to be a 3rd-round pick. Given Corum's resume, is it realistic for the Cowboys to potentially land the running back in the third round? Corum's 5'8" size combined with limited production in the passing game have the Wolverines' star projected to go in the third round. Corum's 17-yard touchdown run in overtime against Alabama was a perfect encapsulation of his skills as an NFL prospect, The Athletic's Dane Brugler detailed in a January 8 story titled, Ranking the Top 25 NFL Draft Prospects in Michigan-Washington Title Showdown. He runs with urgent decision-making at the line and pairs his eyes with his feet to bounce between gaps and find daylight. One of the knocks against Corum is his below-average impact as a receiver, which is ironic because his 2 catches in the Rose Bowl were pivotal plays. A first-quarter touchdown and a fourth-down catch and run in the final minutes of regulation. He is considered a third-round prospect. Pollard played on the $10 million franchise tag for Dallas this season. Spotrac projects Pollard's market value to be a 3-year, $19.8 million contract. It remains to be seen if Dallas will be willing to give Pollard a lucrative long-term deal. The Dallas Cowboys are not worrying about free agency, but they are being projected to see a former third-round pick leave the organization. Defensive tackle Neville Gallimore is in his 3rd year with Dallas, but will be a free agent this spring. Gallimore has been a useful player for the Cowboys since joining the team in 2020. However, he has seen his role reduced over the past 2 years. Now, Bleacher Report's Matt Holder is linking Gallimore to the New York Giants, Minnesota Vikings and Arizona Cardinals in free agency. Gallimore's production is underwhelming, but he's also buried on the Cowboys' depth chart behind Osa Odighizuwa, who is having an excellent season, Holder writes. The Oklahoma product hasn't gotten much playing time this year, but he was a quality prospect coming out of college who could make an impact on both phases of the game. In free agency, he'll likely be looking for an opportunity to start on a short-term deal, so it will be vital for him to make the most of the snaps he gets this weekend. As Holder mentions, Odighizuwa has established himself as one of the NFL's better defensive tackles. It seemed inevitable that Gallimore would be leaving once he was no longer considered a starter. Gallimore's career so far due to injuries and other issues, Gallimore was thrusted into a key role fairly quickly in the NFL. The Cowboys drafted him in the 3rd round in 2020, and the Oklahoma product started 9 games a rookie. According to Pro Football Reference, he totaled 4 tackles for loss and a half sack in 9 starts. The numbers don't jump off the page, but he did produce at a decent rate for a rookie. Unfortunately, he didn't get to carry much of that success over to 2021. Gallimore was placed on IR before the season due to an elbow issue. He was eventually activated in mid-December, appearing in 5 games total. Over the past 2 seasons, Gallimore has appeared in every game but one. However, the rise of Odighizuwa and the addition of Jonathan Hankins via trade has all but locked him into a backup role. On top of that, Dallas drafted D.T. Mozzie Smith in the 1st round of the 2023 NFL Draft. Cowboys could undergo lots of change in coming weeks. Besides free agency approaching, Dallas may also have to figure out their coaching situation. The Cowboys are hosting a wild-card clash against the Green Bay Packers, and there's a possibility a loss could lead to the firing of Mike McCarthy. While it may seem unlikely to fire a coach after a division-winning season, this is the Cowboys. ESPN reporter Adam Schefter wrote on January 6 that many of his sources believe the playoffs will determine his fate. There continues to be a feeling from people around the league, and even some within the Cowboys organization, that coach Mike McCarthy will be measured by how Dallas' final game goes. If the Cowboys play well in the postseason, McCarthy would have an excellent chance to keep his job. But if they struggle and end the season with an embarrassing loss, Schefter continued. As has happened in each of the past 2 years, then some say that change could come to Dallas. The potential availability of names like Bill Belichick and Jim Harbaugh certainly plays a factor. Either way, it all hinges on winning.